Thank you, Francisca. We appreciate that. This session is with Acurite, and the title is "It Beyond Standard Digital Readout Technology." And John Parker is the MT Business Development and Product Manager for Acurite. So, John, first of all, welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll let you get started, but just give us an overview of what we're going to be talking about here.
Yeah, thanks, Brad. Shifting gears just a little bit from some of the awesome presentations earlier today, and what I'm going to talk a little bit about today here is what Accurite does in the machine tool industry. Of course, in the racing industry, a lot of parts are made, and we have products or accessory items that can be fitted to machine tools that produce these parts. And so I just like to take the opportunity, and thanks again for having us, and show you a little bit about what Accurate's about, at least. Let me just get going here.
Yeah, we see your title card right now. Earlier, we saw you start to share your screen.
Yep.
So
Yeah, there you go. You should be able to see my screen fine. On the Accurate side, we have
yeah, for what it's
visual
worth,
readout
John,
systems.
all we do see is your name right now up there. I'm not sure if you're sharing something that's not showing up.
Let me try again here.
Okay. There we go. Now it's we started to see a screen share. There we go.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, we got it now. Thank you.
Yeah, just what I was saying is, as far as Accurate goes, we have accessory items that we fit to manual machine tools, whether it's digital readouts for milling machines, turning, grinding machines, boring, EDM type machine applications. Along with the digital readouts, we provide precision linear encoders for position feedback on those machine tool applications. We have some entry level control products for those types of machine tools as well. One that we call mill power, and another that's just been introduced most recently that we call turn power for lathe applications. You might ask, or some of you may know Accurate brand from the racing industry. Been around for a long time. Goes back to the old Bausch and Lomb days. But we're owned by a company called Heidenhain. And where that positions us in the brand of Heidenhain products is early on in 1985, Heidenhain purchased the Acurate brand along with other brands that they sell and offer. But Heidenhain is well known for motion control enabling technology. And I have just a short little video that I'd like to share with you first that kind of shows you the connection between Accurate brand and Heidenhain brand. So I'm going to let the guys take over and share that video.
At the height of the second industrial revolution, a precision mechanic had an idea. He wanted to build a business obsessed with technical innovation that could still help its partners get their jobs done every day. That mechanic's name was Wilhelm Heidenhain, and he was onto something. Something that's helped make the once inconceivable commonplace. Moving our most powerful technology, unraveling our mysteries big and small, powering our planet, unlocking repeatable, incomprehensible speed and precision, accelerating our ingenuity. The Heidenhain family of brands is helping today's technological heroes make the world better. Garrett is teaching the next generation of metalworkers. Dr. Tullis is working to recreate earthquake conditions in the lab. Ian and Ben are looking at stars light years away. And to think, this all started with one man's idea in a Berlin etching factory in 1889. What's your big idea? Let's all work together and change the world.
So hopefully, Brad, that gives you a little bit better idea how Accurate and Heidenhain work together. Heidenhain's been around for a long, long time, and Accurate is a brand of that company. I'm just going to go back to sharing my screen again here. Give me just a second. And I'll talk a little bit more in detail about the products and how the products associate to machine tool applications and some of the things that you can do with the products themselves. So, Brad, can you see my screen again?
We can now, yeah. The Heidenhain
Okay,
graphic of
perfect.
companies is up.
Yeah, perfect. So, when we talk about readouts and what it does and how it works, the device gets mounted to what we call a knee mill or a lathe, um, but it's usually mounted to the readout and is expressed in terms of left and right axis, back and forth movement or up and down movement. But we're displaying the distance in terms of accuracy that this machine tool is moving. So when you're prototyping parts or repairing parts or modifying parts, this accessory item that we offer helps reduce the time in doing those types of operations. And we have digital for all types of machine applications, typical knee mill applications, lathes that you might see in the industries, vertical torque lathes, horizontal boring mills, optical comparators, grinders, EDM machines, and all of these types of machine tools are being used for all types of industry. Racing industry is a good example, making small run production parts, making modifications to existing parts, etc. So what comes in a DRO? We provide everything as a total package solution that can be fitted to just about any type of manual machine tool. We're supplying the readout display itself, the linear feedback or the positioning devices, and then all of the mounting brackets that it takes to put this particular DRO on a specific machine tool itself. And then just to talk a little bit about the different models of readouts that we offer. We offer a very basic entry level DRO, and in this particular readout system here, you can do a zero reset. So you move to a position and you can zero out the axis. You can do radius diameter conversions. You can put in error compensation if there's machine tool error that needs to be compensated for. There's some diagnostics in the readout, etc. And this readout is applicable to mills, lathes, and grinders for the industry. Our most common readout is what we call the DRO203. It's the mid-range product. It comes standard as a 3-axis DRO display. In an email, you'd have the table X and Y axis, and then your quill being the Z axis for depths, drilling holes, or positioning the Z axis to mill a pocket out, as an example. We have some really cool features on the readouts. So it's a color display, of course. We implemented a feature called dynamic zoom. And for us old guys like myself, where my vision isn't so good anymore, when you're moving the axis, it actually enlarges itself. So you really draw focus to that particular that's moved. And we just call that feature dynamic zoom. Um, we have very basic functions within and standard functions within the readout, like hole pattern. So if you're doing a specific hole pattern, either a full or a segmented hole pattern, you can program those directly into the readout, and then it'll tell you where to move to location to drill these holes out, as an example. On turning specific applications for a lathe within this particular readout, we have the taper calculations, radius diameter feature. We have a freeze tool position for setting up or establishing your tool length offsets for turning applications, vectoring, and then summing of displays. All are all standard features within this particular readout. And then our high-end readout gives you all of those same capabilities that the entry level and the mid-range product does, along with some programming capabilities, thread assist. You can actually cut threads with this turning DRO 300 readout that we have. You can set up multiple DRO display views. You can interface your spindle with the readout. So if you want to display spindle speed, if you're monitoring spindle speed on a knee mill or on a lathe, all of that type of information can be interfaced into the readout itself. Retain some of those same features in the DRO 300, the dynamic zoom, the axis highlight functionality. There's a day-night mode on it. The depending on the lighting in the shop, you can change the color or invert the colors within the readout. There's calculation for linear hole patterns within this particular readout. We also have functions like probing that you can add to this readout as an accessory item, where you can calculate the center of a circle, or you can calculate the center line of some part that you might have fixtured up on the machine tool. And then also we have these leaked lines, circular arcs, and linear hole patterns, all as standard features within the readout itself. On the entry-level control side, for machine tool applications, we have what we call this mill power control product that can be retrofitted to an existing knee mill or bed mill. And then we also have the turning control product as well. And I'll go through the controls a little bit now. On control products with the mill power, it's just a real easy, simple conversational control. You can import DXF files and G-code programs directly into the control and run part programs that way. Or you can use the cascade cycles, which are these yellow hard keys up here, and create your own geometry or customize or modify parts on this knee mill application that you have. It's a retrofit package that can be fitted to an existing machine tool or purchased with a new machine tool, as I said, and we're providing all the components to do that. So it's the control console, it's a mounting arm for that, it's ball screws that we put into the machine tool, it's the linear feedback that we put on all 3 axes, it's the motors, the axis castings, motor castings to hold the motors themselves. All while retrofitting this manual machine tool, we don't take away from the manual capabilities. So we provide new hand wheels. You can still move the machine tool around manually if you want to, or use it in full automated CNC mode by running that conversational program that you've created, or running a DXF file or your G-code program that you've input into the control itself. I would just say that we have complete retrofit packages for all types of knee mills. We're showing here as an example of Bridgeport Series 1 type knee mill, and you can see the components installed on this particular machine. And we just make this this machine more productive, more accurate. We're providing linear feedback for all 3 axes, so you get the linear feedback for positioning. So if you have questions, or if you do have a knee mill or a bed mill application, a particular make and model, reach out to us, let us know what that is, and chances are we're going to have a kit or a solution that will bolt right up that machine tool, taking it from a manual machine tool to a very simple CNC machine. On the advanced products, we also offer what we call this bed mill solution, and you can see the machine type's just a little bit different, where the whole head is moving up and down on this machine tool. But we're still controlling all 3 axes. So we have a motor mounted up here on the Z axis, one over here on the left-hand side, which is the table, the X axis, and then there's a motor mounted inside this casting, which is the Y axis. And all of those are control axes through the control itself. This particular kind of machine gives you a little bit bigger work envelope. So if you have bigger parts that you're doing or modifications that you're doing, this control package with this type of machine would work better for you. Type applications. But again, we're providing the whole package solution for these types of machine tools. Just wanted to give you samples of some of the things that are being done. So you can see some cut parts that are being done on these types of machine tools here, this knee mill. As I mentioned, we don't take away from manual use of the machine tool. You can pop the hand wheel out and still hand crank away and manually move the machine tool. On the Z axis, if we're doing a full 3-axis control package, you could disconnect this knob here from the Z axis. It disengages the ball screw, and then you can still manually adjust the quill or the Z axis in these types of applications. And then on the turning side, we have power. It's control, it's the control that we've had for years, but it's going to turn to the entry-level turning, easy to say 2-axis plus spindle, the machine layer made again focus our product is to set time efficient.
And John, if I could for a minute,
you don't the big full-blown C tool. You want to on a tree.
Hey, John, if I could for a minute, I'm not sure if you can hear me or not. As soon as you started talking about this last
can.
piece, you started breaking up on us just a little bit here. I don't know if it was a connection issue or what it was, but I just want to make sure we have you because I don't think we could fully understand what you were saying with the beginning of this.
Yeah, I could hear you fine.
Okay.
Basically, what I was saying is this turn power is a entry-level turning control that complements our milling product. Again, it's just a easy to use conversational control, 2-axis plus controlled spindle. You can still use these types of machines. This is a lathe, either manually or automated with this entry-level control product on it, all in the efforts to reduce setup time, increase efficiency, productivity, profitability. And the idea, the key behind these milling and turning controls that we have is you don't always need a full blown 5-axis CNC machine to make a modification to a part or make an adjustment to a part or a program. You could do these on these entry level type machine tools. And a lot of the race shops and support shops to the racing industry have these type of machine tools out there. And this is a great product to help improve the efficiencies and the productivity of those types of machines. Um, just to give you some examples of the turning control itself, we have, there's just some simple turning parts here. This happens to be a chess set, but here you can see that there's automated threading going on here with some recess cycles, some turning cycles that are all included in here. Gives you a good round overview of the turning control product that we along with the entry products from Acurite that we have both on the milling and the turning side. From there, it's a nice transition into a Heidenhain control, which is available on higher end VMC applications. So here you're talking about 3, 4, or 5-axis type machines. And there's just a smooth transition from the Acurite product into the Heidenhain controls themselves. So a lot of the advertising and marketing stuff that we do and we talk about is just what's in your shop, and we think that people should be looking at a product that's still made in the USA. All Acurate digital readouts and control products are manufactured in our manufacturing facility in Schaumburg, Illinois. And if you have, additional questions or things that you would like to research a little bit more, just reach out to us. Go visit the Acurate website. All of our digital readouts are out there and listed on the Acurate website. There's technical specifications on each one of the products that I showed and talked about for readouts and for our entry-level control products. And for that, I'll just say, for the participation, for your business, if you're putting us now, and for being our customer. And Brad, I'll hand it back over to you.
Oh, that sounds great. This is what an incredible presentation as well. And in looking at the products, and again, I have a lot of fun learning about some of the new products that we're talking about here, or at least ones that I'm not familiar with. Just going over the website and checking out everything that you guys have. When it comes to the digital readout system or the control system, what is typically included in that, John?
Yeah, so with the readout systems, we're a manufacturer that includes, I would say, specific bracket kits for specific makes and models of machine tools. So if you have for example, a knee mill that's a brand Bridgeport or a brand Kent or a brand Sharp or Clausing, and they have different makes and models of these particular brands, we have a very specific bracket kit that's included with our system to mount the readout to that particular machine tool. And that's what's unique about the Acurate brand. Makes it a lot easier for installation in terms of timing, and you don't have to make a lot of modifications to brackets and parts to put the readout system onto the machine tool that you have.
That's interesting. As far as buying one make of DRO over another, what's the criteria there?
It depends on the application, of course, and what the customer is really looking for. But for example, I had mentioned the DRO 203, which is our mid-range product. That's well suited and rounded for a lot of milling and turning applications. But if the customer wants a more advanced readout that has functions like thread assist capabilities, or perhaps being able to save programming or programs that they create, then I would recommend, our higher end product line that we have, which is the DRO 300 series.
I think what's fascinating about this, John, is just the efficiency. I mean, it looks like this is just improving accuracy and efficiency, making things easier and more repeatable. I mean, it seems like there's a lot of different bases that are covered here, for any shop or anyone who's wanting to do something and, either make or modify some of their own parts and pieces.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see a lot of that, in the racing industry, all sorts of manufacturing. Our products being used in the educational setting, the automotive industry, aerospace, any place that you have to measure something, there's a good chance that somebody's using an Acurite brand product.
If you already speak the language of a machinist, if you're already capable in doing things and turning the wheels yourself and all of this, how hard is this to pick up and learn and figure out how to use?
It's very simple. And if somebody does, need or require a little bit more education on the product itself, we offer online training classes to support all the products that we offer.
Well, this has just been great to see what all goes on with this. And I know people can find you guys and, find you through your page on the EPARTRADE website with everything that you do. But it's, just watching your presentation, watching everything you go through, you can see where this would be a huge benefit to racers, to race shops, to parts manufacturers and suppliers. I mean, you sort of cover the gamut of what we feature here on EPARTRADE as far as being able to really help either a supplier or an end user.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We appreciate the efforts that you guys put into this as well.
Well, thank you, John. And as a matter of fact, we just pushed Acurite's product back on the homepage of EPARTRADE. So please go to epartrade.com and you can connect with John's company, with John and everyone within the industry. So thank you very much for being with us.
The concept for EPARTRADE is basically, in my opinion, there's a big hole in the internet. So the internet started many years ago, but there's never been an online business community for racers on the World Wide Web. The need for EPARTRADE is actually quite obvious. Basically, people in the business of auto racing need a place online to hang out and to get their problems solved.
It's extremely simple for a buyer or for a supplier to interact on the platform. The first thing you need to do is sign in, which is free. And the second thing is, when you see a product that you're interested in, all you need to do is click on request more information. If it's a company, you click on request more information, and then from there, it is forwarded directly to the buyer or to the supplier.
You can go to epartrade.com, you become part of a community of businesses in racing, and it makes sourcing products much easier than just on the internet or using Google.
At EPARTRADE, there is no e-commerce. It's literally a connection just like at a trade show. So now, any time of the year, a buyer could reach out to a supplier through an email.
More than that, it's a place to go just to keep current every day. So it's a good place to start your workday in your racing business or in your offices of your professional race team. And you know you're current when it comes to new technology, industry news, technical papers, technical videos, all of that and more. We're not looking for a million hits per day. All we want is people who are really the volume buyers of racing products in the racing industry to be part of the little world of EPARTRADE. We have racing businesses participating from around the world. So you get suppliers from around the world, you get buyers from around the world.
EPARTRADE really eliminates having to travel, closing down your shop. Now you have a place to showcase globally your racing product and technology.
There are two types of people, racers and everyone else. Racer Magazine is for those who believe that racing is a way of life. Racer embodies the excellence that defines a sport driven by passion, courage, and ingenuity. Get 1 year of both Racer's print and digital edition for only $39 with instant access to our entire digital issue archive. Subscribe now at info.racer.com.